at a white house between a sand pit and a gravel pit, and things had happened. The children had found a Samiad, or sand fairy, and it had let them have anything they wished for, just exactly anything, with no bother about it not being really for their good, or anything like that. And if you want to know what kind of things they wished for, and how their wishes turn out, you can read it all in a book called 5 Children and It. It was the Samiad. If you've not read it, perhaps I ought to tell you that the 5th child was the baby brother, who was called the Lamb, because the first thing he had ever said was, "Ah!" And that the other children were not particularly handsome, nor were they extra clever, nor extraordinarily good. But they were not a bad sort on the whole. In fact, they were rather like you. "I don't want to think about the pleasures of memory," said Cyril. "I want some more things to happen." "We're very much luckier than anyone else as it is," said Jane. "Why? No one else ever found a Samiad. We ought to be grateful." "Why shouldn't we go on being, though?" Cyril asked. "Lucky, I mean, not grateful. Why is it all got to stop?" "Perhaps something will happen," said Anthea comfortably. "Do you know, sometimes I think we are the sort of people that things do happen to." "It's like that in history," said Jane. "Some kings are full of interesting things, and others, nothing ever happens to, except they're being born and crowned and buried, and sometimes not that." "I think Panther's right," said Cyril. "I think we are the sort of people things do happen to. I have a sort of feeling things would happen right enough if we could only give them a shove. We just want something to start it, that's all." "I wish they taught magic at school," Jane sighed. "I believe if we could do a little magic, it might make something happen." "I wonder how you begin." Robert looked round the room, but he got no ideas from the faded green curtains, or the drab Venetian blinds, or the worn brown oilcloth on the floor. Even the new carpet suggested nothing, though its pattern was a very wonderful one. It almost seemed as though it was just going to make you think of something. "I could begin right enough," said Anthea. "I've read lots about it, but I believe it's wrong in the Bible." "It's only wrong in the Bible because people want to hurt other people. I don't see how things can be wrong unless they hurt somebody, and we don't want to hurt anybody. And what's more, we jolly well couldn't if we tried. Let's get the Inglesby legends. There's something about abracadabra there," said Cyril, yawning. "We may as well play at magic. Let's be Knights Templar. They were awfully gone on magic. They used to work spells or something with a goat and a goose. Father says so." "Well, that's all right," said Robert unkindly. "You can play the goat right enough, and Jane knows how to be a goose." "I'll get Inglesby," said Anthea hastily. "You turn up the hearthrug." So they traced strange figures on the linoleum where the hearthrug had kept it clean. They traced them with chalk that Robert had nicked from the top of the mathematical master's desk at school. You know, of course, that it is stingy to take a new stick of chalk, but it's not wrong to take a broken piece, so long as you only take one. I do not know the reason of this rule, chanted all the gloomiest songs they could think of. And of course, nothing happened. So then Anthea said, I'm sure a magic fire ought to be made of sweet-smelling wood, and have magic gum and essences and things in it. I don't know any sweet-smelling wood except cedar, said Robert, but I've got some ends of cedar wood lead pencils. So they burnt the ends of lead pencil, and still nothing happened. Let's burn some of the eucalyptus oil we have for our colds, said Anthea. And they did. It certainly smelled very strong. And they burnt lumps of camphor out of the big chest. It was very bright and made a horrid black smoke, which looked very magical. But still nothing happened. Then they got some clean tea cloths from the dresser drawer in the kitchen and waved them over the magic chalk tracing.